Regina, we have to talk to you.
Is butter a carb?
Yes. Gina, you're wearing sweatpants. It's Monday.
So?
So that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us.
Whatever. Those rules aren't real.
They were real that day I wore a vest.
Because that vest was disgusting.
You can't sit with us!
These sweatpants are all that fits me right now. Fine. You can walk home, bitches.
That's where you're going, fat ass.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
What's up, JB?
Hey, Tim. How's it going, buddy?
Man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I'm existing, and I'm surviving, and I'm not really sleeping. But
shut
hey.
up, dude. Don't sound
What?
so defeatist. You would tell me if I said what you just said. Come on, Tim, be positive.
No, I said I'm existing and I'm surviving. That's positivity
You're
at this point.
fucking thriving, bro.
I am. I'm thriving.
Yeah, your life is good, man.
I'm a thriver. I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna
Welcome
stop.
to
I'm gonna
JB's
work harder.
JB's new English language, where he makes up new words. Like, what was it? Sir Thriving?
Thriving and add valuate.
Add valuation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So sorry, I totally interrupted. Well, you kind of interrupted yourself when you asked me.
Oh,
how
no,
it
I
was,
totally
but
interrupted myself.
How,
Because
what were you saying about you were watching some YouTube
I was
videos?
saying I was watching a
And by
YouTube
that,
video,
you mean
and it
porn,
was like-
right?
No, I don't think, does YouTube have porn? Although, you know
No.
what, dude? You know what I did notice? I have Streamio, right? You have Streamio.
Streamio.
A good friend of yours bought you a fucking Fire Stick, so you can
right.
use Streamio. You're welcome.
Yep.
And I don't know, it must have something to do with some of the add-ons I put in there, but I noticed just recently when I do a search, like for instance, I was searching for, I typed in Chicago because I wanted to watch the show Chicago PD. Good show. It's about a bunch of corrupt cops who I feel like to be a cop in Chicago, maybe you kind of have to be corrupt to get anything done. It's one of those things like, I guess if you're corrupt for the right reason, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's like Robin Hood, he was kind of corrupt for the right reasons.
My point. Yeah, but that's such a slippery
wasn't really
slope.
corrupt,
That is
though.
such a slippery slope, though, especially
Corruption.
when
Corruption is relative, though, isn't it? No, it's not.
No, it's really not. Well, I mean, I guess ethically and morally, sure, but when we're talking about cops have legally they're allowed to do X, Y, and Z.
They have a code that they have.
Police
sworn
corruption.
to.
Right, and obviously in the shows they're dramatized, they're romanticized, and they're going outside the boundaries and breaking laws to save the child or catch the murderer or whatever. But that is such a slippery slope, dude, because I guess it's like any sort of power. Power in the right hands can be a good thing, but power in the wrong hands, not so much. Anyways, regardless, so I type in Chicago because I know that Chicago PD is going to come up. Along with, there's like a bunch of Chicago Med, Chicago Justice, Chicago Fire, whatever. Regardless, doesn't matter. So it's like a bunch of different TV shows, movies, and then a bunch of porn. So,
Oh wow!
One of
Chicago.
the
Do they film a lot of porn in Chicago?
dude, I have no idea. I didn't even look at it.
It was like deep dish sausage pizza, Chicago style,
Deep dish,
windy
extra
shitty.
grease. Extra grease, windy porn. Yeah. Welcome to Project Reclamation, where we talk about shitty TV shows, corruption in Chicago police, and porn.
Yeah,
You're welcome,
What else
guys.
is there to talk about, bro?
Nothing, man. I mean, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing at all.
for sure.
So what I was saying,
you were saying about
that was,
YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, that was extremely tangential.
Squirrel. So I was watching some YouTube video. You were just talking about trying to get different shots with your camera for some reason.
Yeah.
I was watching a YouTube video and they had basically low budget, easy gimmicky ways to get cool shots. I think they were using a Ronin or maybe a Zune, something like that. But it was dude, they made much use of an office chair.
Oh yeah, dude.
And that shit looked amazing. Literally, there was obviously two people, and the one dude's like he's holding the gimbal in his hand. He's sitting in an office chair. Obviously, it's one with wheels. And then person number two, these were like approach shots and then like pull away shots. And he just like pushes him forward in the office chair, pulls him back in the office chair. And the shots actually look pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with any sort of camera stabilization is the up-down is the one that's the most easily seen because it's the one that's the hardest to mask. But yeah, so if you're sitting in a chair and you have a gimbal in your hand or a whatever you call it, steady cam or any of that stuff.
If you even know what the fuck a gimbal is, congratulations.
Gimbal. Wasn't that one of those things that you would get like put a quarter in? It was a gimbal machine.
I have no idea, dude.
You know, like you chew on
like
the
the one like where you get the little egg pod thing with like a little toy in it.
No, I was trying to be stupid and call it gumball.
Oh, and I totally didn't get it.
It's all right.
See,
it was really stupid.
Herein lies the problem with JB and I being in different fucking cities doing this podcast over the phone.
Well, is that a problem though, or does it just add to the
awkwardness of our shitty jokes just like falling flat? Like, dude,
squash.
I don't know what you're talking about, JB. Clearly, I'm a few drinks behind you. I don't know.
Anyways. So, what else is new? What have you been doing? What's the skinny or the chubby?
The chubby, the skinny. Chubby unicorns need love too.
Dude, yes, they do.
Yes. For anyone who doesn't know, there is a shirt, a meme, a poster, a picture, I have no fucking clue, with a rhino, and it says chubby unicorns need love too. Because if a rhino's not a unicorn, then I don't know what is. But
I think that would be a good softball team name, the Chubby Unicorns.
I agree.
Or be a bunch of like
a drinking club with a softball problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the skinny? Not much. Fucking did a lot of work, and I've been like fucking bored. Not bored. I'm sorry. I haven't been bored at all. I've been boring. Although I think I told you this earlier, but I went full tweaker this morning.
Yeah.
So I have been trying to, for those of you who don't know, I typically go to bed, I don't know, midnight-ish, maybe a little bit later. And I don't sleep nearly enough. My sleep habits fucking suck. But the last few nights I've been trying to go to bed at or before 10 o'clock. So I've been, trying some out. So the last few nights, gone to bed around 10, wake up at like 7. And I think that's because I was so far behind on my sleep. My body was like just welcomed the opportunity to catch up on a little bit. Well, last night, I went to bed at around 10. I think it was like 9:45 when I like turned off the TV. I woke up at, I think my body was like, well, we're all caught up. You've been asleep for 6.5 hours. This is normal. So time to get up.
Thermometer popped out of the turkey. It was like, done.
Pretty much, yeah. 4:30. I'm awake and I'm wide awake, dude. I'm like, it was one of those where like, I'm so wide awake. I'm like, I even if I tried to go back to sleep, I'm like 99% sure I couldn't. And I'm like, well, I could just kind of like pretend to sleep or roll around for like 2 hours, but I'm awake. My parents are coming into town like tonight. So I have house cleaning I need to do. So I'm just going to get up and start cleaning the house. So yeah, I cleaned my whole house. I went and worked out. And then I got some work done and some laundry and some other stuff. And then I'm like, it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm done with everything I could possibly accomplish at this point.
Tim's 4-hour work week was accomplished in 2 hours this morning. Yeah.
So I felt like I went full fucking tweaker.
Nice.
But hey.
Stop snorting the dishwasher detergent powder.
Well, and you're right. Because I ran out of Comet and Ajax, and all I had were like dishwasher pods, and it's really hard to snort a dishwasher pod because like that thing doesn't really fit in your nose.
If you pop it open and like sprinkle it on a muffin, it's delicious.
Please don't try that at home.
Yeah, we do not recommend that.
Screw you kids who eat Tide Pods. Try snorting them instead. Yeah.
Good times. So, yeah.
Clearly, we're both extremely intellectual tonight.
Oh, dude.
I'm running on fumes. The problem with waking up early and being all productive is that, it's like 6 o'clock at night and I'm like ready to go to bed.
Tim's huffing fumes.
Well, I mean, duh. Always.
Yeah, so I just got back from the beach. We went to the beach in Orange Beach. I don't know why I'm saying.
So
it like
I mean,
that, beach.
I could literally be at the beach in 5 minutes and then come
Well,
back
yeah,
an hour later.
yeah. I live in San Diego.
No. That wasn't me being an asshole.
I know.
That was
I'm just messing with you.
That was me prodding you to tell the story of what I just went to the beach means to you.
Oh, is it supposed to mean something?
Not like fucking. Not like on some sort of like emotional level. Just in general, you live a long ways away from the beach.
I went to the beach in my mind.
What beach did you go to?
I
It wasn't a
just- I was
5-minute
just-
vacation. It was
I
like a
was
week
just
long
saying
thing.
it, and then you
Okay.
interrupted me.
Well, I'm an asshole. What do you expect, dude?
Just like turn the speed down to like half, and then we
I'm
can
just-
like exist on the same plane.
Tweaker. Squirrel.
Yeah,
Squirrel.
it's all good. So I went to Orange Beach, Alabama. Which
All right.
sounds every bit as redneck, but it's awesome. There's like $1 million condos everywhere. It's cool. It's the closest
All right.
beach to Nashville.
Is that like directly south of you, essentially?
Yeah, it is. You take I-65 basically for like 300 and something miles south.
Dude.
And
You have
then
gone full.
get-
You have gone full non-Californian
Why?
because, well, you said I-65.
That's what
Nobody
you call
says
it.
I shit in California. We say the 405, the 5, the 805, the 8, the 101.
Yeah, because I mean, it is I-10 though, right?
They're all I. I mean, any
Well, highway.
any-
between a highway or interstate.
Yeah, I mean, any freeway that goes through multiple states is an I something. 'Cause it
Interstate,
stands for
yeah.
Interstate. Exactly. Yeah. It just, I mean, it's just
how is
it's just regional slang lexicon. It doesn't mean anything.
no, but
I
yeah,
was just
we don't
pointing
call
it
it
out.
the 65. I guess we do just say 65 or 24.
Dude, think about growing up. When we were growing up, because we lived in, Goleta, Santa Barbara, like the only actual freeway was the 101. So when you're talking, if you live in Santa Barbara or Goleta, you just say get on the freeway and get off.
Oh
at
yeah,
this
well,
exit.
and it's like we live next to the Pacific Ocean, like the ocean, the Pacific,
Right. Yeah.
the Atlantic, because there was
guess
only
there's-
one out
I guess
here.
there's certain
lots.
places where maybe you could live near two oceans.
Yeah, like the
Interesting.
very very tip of Baja California.
Well, then you got the Sea of Cortez, and then you
Well,
have
it would be
Pacific
the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean.
Ocean. No, it's the Gulf of California, dude.
Oh yeah, that is the Gulf of California. The Gulf
But
of
if you lived at the
Mexico's
tip
on
of
the other
Florida,
side.
then you would be dealing. Or if you
What do
lived
they
anywhere
call
in
that?
Florida,
That's not the Gulf of California, is it?
yeah, technically it's the Gulf of California or it's the Sea of Cortez.
Oh, Cortez. Yeah, good
Cortez, California,
California.
California.
Yeah, so we went down to the beach. We usually try and go at least once a year just because it's relatively inexpensive. And we rent a condo down there and enjoy life. What nice white sandy beaches, broad beaches. It's fun. And yeah, so we went down there and we took the family. This is the first time the four of us went alone somewhere. In a long car drive, and that was interesting and fun. It was actually
dude.
Things turned out a lot better than I thought they were going to.
Well, I mean, little KB is only what? How old is she?
12 weeks.
So yeah.
Yeah. So no, and and they're almost exactly 2 years apart. So we did the same thing with J.
They're
JCB.
literally 2 years apart within a day, aren't they?
Yeah, like an hour and a half.
Jesus.
The winters get cold out here. Actually, really not that bad.
It's funny because right when you said that, I was just thinking, what's 40 weeks before that date?
Winter.
Apparently, winter is coming.
Winter came.
Winter is coming, and winter came.
Whoa. Hey, PG family show. Yeah, so we just got back from
Sorry, Mom.
yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, and we took some pictures and video, and like I've been eating pretty well and doing the whole low carb, low sugar thing, and it's been working out. I fell off the wagon completely. Got some road rash, and saw me in video, and I'm like, bleh.
Well, dude, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep fighting.
Exactly.
Reference
I don't know what that
quote.
means.
It means, we're all going to
So,
fall
like,
off the wagon.
basically, like,
it's not
see
about
myself
it's not
and
about
then
being
not,
perfect.
like-
It's about just keeping going. I mean, just like anything, dude.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not going to like see myself in a video and then go lock myself in a closet for the rest of my life. That'd be kind of interesting, though. Like, I hate how I look on video. I'm going to go lock myself in a closet.
I hate how I look on videos, so I'm just going to remove all the mirrors from my house, and I'm just going to like...
Yeah. I'm never going to be in a photographic image or video again. I'm not saying that.
Well, no, but I mean, dude, we've talked about this before, like how I have all of these like photos from like the last 10 years, and I'm in like 10% of them.
Oh, yeah. Because subconsciously you didn't want to be in them, or maybe just consciously.
Possibly. I'm not really sure. I mean, I could try to like, I could make excuses and say, well, it's because I had the camera, and it's always like, I mean, to this day, like, I don't hate looking in the mirror, and I don't hate photos of myself anymore. I did, and we could talk about that. I think we will, but even like today, I don't know. Like, I just don't like, I guess my thing is I don't like post pictures.
Well, and I feel like if you hadn't caught on to our topic today, we are talking about a negative self-image here on
Right.
Project Reclamation.
I think we're talking about self-image in general.
Well, yeah, but most of the time, and I think a lot of people suffer from a negative self-image because they're comparing themselves to,
Right.
whatever.
I mean, even if it's just the status quo.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
myself,
good band
or
out
like-
of London.
It is a good band out of London. I believe
It's good. It's called Status
Richard
Quo.
Branson produced them. They were on Virgin Atlantic.
They were
Records.
virgins before they got their record deal.
Well, they were virgins because they hated looking at themselves and they had no self-confidence.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when you're English. I mean, in like the 80s, you had terrible teeth, so why would you want to look at yourself in the mirror?
Didn't everyone though? So like, wasn't it just like it's like
Yeah.
it's like if you and your wife or me and my girlfriend, if we both eat some onion laden meal for dinner, it's cool because like we both have onion breath, so it's all relative.
Yeah, but not really.
What do
I mean, yeah, you're right, but still gross. Especially teeth.
onion breath is gross.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm gonna
You know
brush
what's
my teeth.
delicious though? Are sushi burps.
Ew.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's so good, especially if you've been eating it with wasabi, and you get like that little bit of soy sauce and wasabi. It's such like a clean burp that you're like, this is a reasonable facsimile of the flavor that I was experiencing not more than a half hour ago, an hour ago.
Does it change if you've been drinking like some sort of Japanese beer or sake?
Cold sake, Nagori helps with the burps.
Okay. All right.
Because then it probably dumbs down your senses, and you're probably less repulsed by the guttural stomach fluids coming up, causing the burp.
I'm slightly disgusted and extremely fascinated at like how I specifically know which burps you like, because I had never thought about it.
Well,
until
okay,
right now.
you know what else? What other burps I like is like if you're drinking a nice
tell me more.
crisp lager or pilsner beer.
Tim doesn't drink beer anymore.
I know, I don't either, but I remember this when I did really, and it's like that first like beer burp, is awesome. Where it like kind of comes out your nose a little bit. You get
Okay.
like that effervescent burp.
Now, are we talking? I see you said a lager or a pilsner. I would assume like a good wheat bear might have a little
Not
bit
so much.
like
It has to
citrus
be more-
undertones.
It has to be more crispy.
Do you have a specific beer in mind?
Not necessarily.
Can you give me an example?
Like Peroni.
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not a beer person. I used
It's
to.
a Italian delicious pilsner.
However,
think
I did have
lager. Who knows?
Brett and his lady friend were making what was it? Beer floats the other
Ooh.
night. It was the same night that Steve and I were recording the WWE episode, and Randy, the Macho Man Randy Savage, stopped by and served us some macho chicken, which I have a feeling had some sort of a Slim Jim based marinade. But anyways.
Slim
so they
Jim
made-
based marinade.
It's a joke because he did the Slim Jim commercials.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Well, but Brett's doing keto, so I didn't. That that wasn't out of the ordinary to think that maybe you
Brett
like
is doing
marinated-
keto, and I will say, dude, he made some keto fried chicken a little while ago, and he literally, instead of flour and stuff for the breading of the fried chicken, he used a unflavored protein powder. Shout out to Isopure unflavored protein powder. It has so many uses that you'd never think of. Add it to your mashed potatoes. Add it to your carb-laden meals. Just to add some protein. It's great. But yeah, he used the unflavored Isopure protein powder as the breading of the fried chicken, and it was fucking delicious.
like in the place of flour.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's
Nice.
kind of the same consistency.
Well, and it's super like instantized, so you're not getting like big clumps from like almond flour or something, you know.
And almond flour and all those like nut flours, like they don't have any adhesion. They just fall apart.
Well, that's why you put eggs in it, but
Sure. But this, I think he still used like an egg wash. Anyways, regardless,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It was cool. And
super delish.
and eating protein powder breaded fried chicken helps Brett maintain a positive self-image because he has lost a decent amount of weight.
And puts him in ketosis. Ka-ching!
Yeah. So you can pee on strips and
Or
turn
keeps him
certain
in
colors.
ketosis.
Yeah.
So what is diabetic ketoacidosis? Because it's not good. When you see like these ads, am I tangenting? And that was
No, not at all.
disapproval? Okay.
No, you just made me feel stupid because I work in the medical industry, so I feel like I should know the answer to your question off the top of my head, and I know a little bit about it.
You work
but
in the
since
medical industry, but you work in wound care.
I work in a very tiny little niche of. I work in. I have a tiny. If medical was a pie, the piece that I live in is a tiny little piece, and but my friends and family sometimes just assume that it's medical. Tim knows what's up. Hey, my heartbeat is funny, Tim. I'm not a fucking cardiologist. I don't know.
Google it.
That's
Maybe
exactly
I should
what I'm
Google
doing.
it. You know what?
I am. Dude. Hold on.
JB is Googling diabetic
I'm
ketoacidosis.
I'm all
the
over
only
it,
reason I say that is because like I've heard you can like spontaneously combust from being in ketosis.
There is something to that. I don't know how legit it is, but there is. I think it's one of those things they can't really prove it, but they haven't really proven that it not. Diabetic ketoacidosis is a serious complication of diabetes that occurs when your body produces high levels of blood acids called ketones, which ketones mean that you're basically the keto diet is depriving your body of sugar, because sugar is, if you go run around the block, the first thing your body is going to burn, no matter what you're doing, the first thing your body burns is sugar. The next thing your body burns is glycogen, which is essentially complex chains of sugar that are stored in your liver. But if you have very little to none of those two things, then the third thing your body burns is fat. So essentially the point of ketosis, if you're a healthy individual and you're doing it on purpose, is to deprive your body of sugar and glycogen so that your body is forced to burn fat right away. So anyways, the condition develops when your body can't produce enough insulin. Insulin normally plays a key role in helping sugar, glucose, a major source of energy for your muscles and other tissues, enter your cells. Without insulin, your body begins to break down fat as fuel. This process produces a buildup of acids in the bloodstream called ketones, eventually leading to diabetic ketoacidosis if untreated. If you have diabetes or you're at risk of diabetes, learn the warning signs of diabetes. It doesn't really tell me shit. Symptoms. Diabetic ketoacidosis signs and symptoms often develop quickly, sometimes within 24 hours. For some, these signs and
urination,
symptoms,
nausea, abdominal pain, weakness, fruity scented breath. Oh, delicious.
Excessive thirst, frequent urination, nausea and vomiting, abdominal pain, weakness or fatigue, shortness of breath, or fruity or scented breath. So
That's
you're like,
so weird.
hey, and confusion. So it's interesting. I need to do more research on this, but I wonder if there's any like negative impact to healthy people putting themselves in keto.
That's kind of what I was asking. And I know that's like, cardiologists kind of frown upon the ketogenic diet because of the high fats and stuff like that, but I don't know. And salt.
I mean, it's just like
It
the
can lead to
Atkins diet.
high
Like
blood pressure, and all that.
it's just like the Atkins diet though. Yeah, but honestly, dude, salt affects your blood pressure because salt obviously is, I don't want to go too fucking nerdy on this, but
Come on, do it. Full
everything
nerd.
has
Push your glasses
so
against your nose and get
everything
into it.
has a diffusion gradient, right? So if there's too much salt in your body, then you're going to suck the water out of the blood, and your blood's going to be thicker. So that gives you higher blood pressure because your heart has to pump harder to push thicker blood through the things. But the thing that people don't realize is, salt is bad because blah, blah, blah. But sugar is the exact same thing. Because water is always going to move across a gradient to even itself out.
Making your blood thick and blood pressure and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I think the Atkins diet was the same thing. I mean, Dr. Atkins had like 4 heart attacks or some shit.
Yeah.
But because the parameters are that you can eat bacon, you can eat salt, you can do this, you can do that. That's not to say that you should eat fucking 3 pounds of bacon a day and a bunch of fucking salt. Like, there's a healthy way and an unhealthy way to do everything, I think.
But wouldn't that be great?
I mean, technically.
Dude, so Aldi has this maple bacon. It's amazing.
How do you make your bacon? In a pan or in the oven?
I do it all kinds of ways. I just breathe on it for a long time. Usually helps.
I put it underneath Jack's while he's sleeping, and his body heat cooks the bacon.
I like I like pan frying. Just because it's really easy to get it
just
exactly crispy as I want it.
Just don't do it naked. Bad idea.
Oh yeah, naked bacon. Sounds like a band name.
Because that grease, it jumps.
Oh yeah, it jumps, especially if there's any like sort of water pockets in your bacon, like
burns the naked body.
Yeah. Pop.
So JB, we've started this topic, and I believe we have said nothing about it.
No, but if I kept eating more bacon, my negative self-image would be pretty healthy.
Probably, yeah. I mean, if you were, you could clog your arteries with that shit, but
oh yeah.
I made some bacon in the oven the other day, and I lined the pan with foil, and then I put the little grid
cookie sheet,
wire.
Cookie.
It's like a cookie sheet, but then I have like this wire thing that goes on top.
What
I'm
trying to say is it's the cookie cooler rack.
Oh yeah.
Those are made for when you were trying to cool your cookies.
That sounds like a band name or a dirty sex move or something.
Cooling your cookies.
Or like some like 1950s. Well, you better cool your cookies, sir.
That's right. Yeah, but put up your dukes, cool your cookies.
If you don't cool your cookies, we're gonna have a problem. But yeah, so I made the bacon on that. Then I had like all that. I was literally making the bacon to put in a chili. So I had the bacon and I had all this bacon fat in the pan below it, and I literally put the bacon and all the fat in the chili. It was delicious.
See, that's what you do. Is let me save you that step. You just cut it up into pieces. Put it in a pan, cook it up, and then you just build it on top in the pot.
Build it on top in the pot, like in the pot that I'm cooking my chili in?
Yeah, so
but you cook it. You want to cook it first, right?
Yeah.
So I used to, and you can, put raw meat in your chili, like ground beef, ground turkey, whatever it is that you're doing. But I found that browning or cooking all of the meats or proteins first and then putting them in, they maintain their texture.
So much more flavor too.
Well, flavor, but also the texture. Because when you put the meat in raw, I think I don't know that the flavor is affected, but the texture is affected because it's more of a mush than like a chili with different textures.
The flavor would absolutely be affected because you're not caramelizing the fats.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Welcome to JB and Tim's Cooking Hour.
We talk about diabetic ketoacidosis.
Diabetic ketoacidosis and cooking chili with bacon fat.
Chili with bacon fat. That's the name of our cooking show.
I put 80% of the bacon fat in the chili and the other 20% on top of the dog food.
Dog food.
My dogs are so fucking spoiled. It's disgusting. Like now Jax is so lazy. But the thing is like he's 7. So he's old enough where like I don't even like it's like I don't even blame him, and like
he's in his golden years.
His laziness like requires a level of intellect that like I just look at him and nod my head because like I'm like it's like I'm impressed and I just have to laugh because like now if I have treats or said the T word treats, like he would literally come running from wherever he was. Now he's laying on the couch. If I say I have a treat or he hears a wrapper or the little treat jar open, he'll look at me from the couch and I could see the gears turning. He's like, do I have to get off the couch to get this treat? Or can I get the treat from the couch? How can I do this exactly?
He's doing a cost-benefit analysis between his treat intake and his laziness.
Well, you remember Bear, right? I always said that Bear had an ROI on everything. He's like, okay, if I have to walk over there to get this, whatever this is it worth it? And that's like kind of where Jax is now. It's like, dude. Yeah, and then meanwhile,
Don't
Paige
lie.
is-
You've done the same thing, like watching TV. You're like,
That's why I'm so impressed. Like,
yeah, exactly.
literally, an animal shouldn't be that smart, but he is. And then he just uses his, like, he uses 100% of his intellect. Well, how can I be more lazy? And yet somehow that dog is like 0% body fat, and he just does nothing. And he has like
It's not lazy. It's working smarter, not harder.
He has a dog-donist physique. Yes, I just put the word dog and Adonis together.
He's
what
an
I do.
Adonis.
He's an Adonis with an... what? Yes. Clearly, we are recording this on... I mean, we're recording this right as you listen to it, because we're surely live. No, we're recording this on a Friday. So, for any of you who... I'm thinking most people understand this. I don't know. If you work a normal hour job or something from Monday to Friday, like it's Friday afternoon, it's Friday evening, my brain is just mush. So I'm not going to bring you a whole lot of intellectual value. I'll try to bring you some entertainment value tonight.
Yeah, I haven't worked in like 8 weeks, and my brain's just mush because
You have
mush.
a 24-hour job, bro.
That's true, but still.
And I always thought, like, just theoretically, on paper, I'm like, oh, having the second kid is probably easy because you've already done it. But you have enlightened me to the fact that when you have one kid, they don't sleep through the night, so you get no sleep. But then during the day, if you're the one that's home, if they go down for a nap, you can kind of take a nap. But if you have a 2-year-old who is running around and on a normal sleep schedule, you can't sleep during the night, and then you can't sleep during the day either, so you're just straight fucked.
Yeah.
Did I kind of get that?
Yeah, it's pretty good encapsulation.
All right.
I mean, it's a little bit dramatized, but you know, about 80% true for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew you when you had your first kid, and I know you now. I feel like this
And
one.
I feel drained.
You're more of a mess now than you were.
Yeah, but I'm coming through it. I'm seeing
Well,
the.
I didn't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's
no,
not like you
I
can't
know.
handle it.
But no, I feel like a mess.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, then,
But hey,
I mean,
lots of people have 2 kids, so
well, and that's what I always tell you.
I know. Well, it's true.
Dude, I got 2 kids, but yes, so do lots of people. Shut up. Stop your whining. And then you're like, hey, Tim, run a 5K on Thanksgiving. I'm like, You're like, well, dude, accountability, man. Accountability. So, yes.
So yeah, we're running 5Ks. Well, here's the thing. So we have known each other for a long time, as you all know. Yada. And it's a constant battle to try and see ourselves the way that we our mind's eye sees us, or we see ourselves in our perfect envisioning. All that being said, we've gone through and done a lot of different exercise regimens, and it comes down to, you know, just like anything else, fad dieting, any of that stuff, you know, it comes and it goes. And so our latest is we want to train for a half marathon with the tripod. Steve, you know, runs these things in his sleep, which really pisses us off.
Steve ran a 5K like a week ago, and now he's
in
in
probably like 10 minutes.
In case you didn't notice, Steve isn't with us. Although maybe you didn't notice, because occasionally, if we're talking about a topic that does not excite Steve, if the topic excites Steve, he will talk more than anyone. But if a topic doesn't super excite Steve, he could, I mean, it's been, 33 minutes? He could literally be silent for 33 minutes. It's possible.
Yeah.
But
just
Steve
checking
is
the
not
phone.
with us because he's in Las Vegas running the rock and roll half marathon.
Is he running the half or the full?
I think he's running the half. He hasn't been training, dude.
Gotcha. But even him doing a half is like, it's like you or I, you know, walking to the store to get some beer.
It's like me getting off the couch and walking to the fridge to get some water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, so we there's obviously turkey trot 5Ks all over the place in every town, city, everywhere for Thanksgiving. And
but not Santa Barbara.
no, they did you one better. It's not a 5K, it's a 4 mile.
For anyone who doesn't know, 5K is 3.1 miles. So
Yeah.
it's an extra. I get an extra 0.9 miles.
You do, but you know what? You're going to enjoy that. I think. When does your race starts at 9:30 or something like that? I think mine does too. So I'll be done with mine for an hour or so before you start yours.
Yeah, and I dude, honestly, I haven't worked out nearly as much as I should or want to or have wanted to since I lost a bunch of weight. But I certainly haven't run for shit at all.
Running's like you've heard us describe ourselves. We are not the running build.
We're big guys.
We're built for strength. We're the guys in high school that carried the kegs and hauled refrigerators in our pickup trucks.
I mean,
running is counterintuitive to our. What are the body types? There's like ectomorph and endomorph.
Ectomorph, and mesomorph.
I think we're mesomorphs.
Ectomorph is. Dude, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't remember.
Sorry, I'm getting all calling on your medical acumen this time around.
If you want to know the layers of the epidermis or the dermis or wound healing in a chronic wound, or I can do that, but you're stretching me, dude.
Well, see, I'm stretching your mind.
No, you're making me learn, and now I'm making the audience learn. Mesomorph body type, according to Sheldon, people with mesomorph body type tend to have a medium frame. They may develop muscles easily and have more muscle than fat on their bodies. Mesomorphs are typically strong and solid, not overweight or underweight. So that's the middle one. I think ectomorph is the big boned husky.
Yeah.
Ectomorph, lean and long with difficult building
difficulty
we're the building muscle. Endomorph. Wait, endomorph, big. Oh, so ectomorph is lean and long. So that's like your skinny guys. Ectomorph, lean and long with difficulty building muscle. Endomorph, big, high body fat, often pear-shaped with a high tendency
to gain weight and keep it on. Ding, 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 winner.
So JB and Tim are definitely endomorphs. I would say Steve is probably more of a mesomorph than anything because he's muscular and well-built with a high metabolism and responsive muscle cells. Yeah, because he's not lean and long with, he doesn't have any difficulty building muscle, I don't think. So yeah, Steve's a mesomorph. Tim and JB, definitely endomorphs. And for all y'all skinnies out there, you are ectomorphs.
Yeah, you can suck it. Just kidding.
Yeah, but dude, just getting up and like being alive for a day, we burn a shit ton of calories. So
true. We also consume a good amount of them too.
We can, and if you've listened to this podcast from the beginning, you probably know about the Taco Fiesta stories and the In-N-Out stories and the Carl's Jr. stories and JB's 4x4, 10x10 stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys don't have In-N-Out over in Tennessee.
No, I apparently, I don't know, I saw a billboard or some story. Maybe it was just complete garbage, but they said they're not building it, not putting any farms like west or east of some state, Indiana or something like that. So I don't.
Well, if you think about it, though,
it's
kind of like the club owner that keeps a line outside the club, even when the club is empty inside.
Yeah. Well, it's inflating demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, JB, we're endomorphs. Wow, we keep like trying to go to the topic and then
dude, that is exactly our topic because we're scientifically describing our image. And that's our physical image.
We are made to lift. Like if you need help moving a refrigerator, if you need help moving a couch, if you need help bearing a body, JB and I are your guys. Like I would say I ain't gonna run from anything unless I'm being chased. But even then, I'm like, well, can I kill this thing or fight this thing? Because if I can do that, then I'm not even gonna run then.
I know. So check this out. You just said like, if I'm gonna run from something, like I always think when I see police dogs or something like that, like if I would just go full on Hulk and like grab it in the throat if it jumped at me, like if I could just like grab it and like throw it to the ground, if that would work. Not that I would ever be in a position where I would think a police dog would, I know
you're gonna have to kill. You're gonna have to kill it, bro.
Well, obviously, but and I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill animals. I'm not talking about. I'm just saying in a situation where
if it was like an evil, let's say it's like
a wolf or something that. Like,
let's say it's like a demon
trying to protect my family or demon dog.
Yeah, the dog is possessed by
or like a junkyard dog that's like okay, not a police dog. The story was bad. Let's think like okay, we're walking down the street in a bad part of town, and this dog starts running after me. They say it's like a pit bull, or some sort of like rabid German Shepherd.
Dude, why do you have to go right to pit bull? Like, I mean, pit bull lives matter. That's all I gotta say.
They do.
For anyone who doesn't know, both my dogs are part pit bull.
No, you know my stance on pit bull. I'm just trying to relate to the listeners because most of them think that pit bulls
you're with your two kids. You're with your two kids, and some dog.
Yeah, I don't care if it's like by fault Snoopy
of the owner,
Pluto by fault of the owner,
them. By fault of the owner, because there's no bad dogs. There's only bad owners. But by fault of the owner, this dog has no social skills and it tries to attack your children. So to save your children, you have to fight the
I've
dog
always
off.
wondered, like, would I be able to do that? Like, would I be able to, like, I'm sure, like, going into parent mode, you never know. It's like, you hear about, parents coming into a car crash or something like that or whatever. They're lifting the car up. You get that adrenaline. You get all that stuff going. Like, would I be able to, like, first react in time to grab the dog, and then would it, like, tear my arm off, or would I be able to, like, put that down? I don't know. I don't know why I just brought that up and why I'm thinking about that.
No,
but
I've thought about something similar because, like, I used to, and I need to start again because I do enjoy hiking, and, like, so I used to go hiking a lot, and
oh yeah, like mountain lions or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of mountain lions in California, and I have actually been stalked by one when I was coming down Cal's Mountain because I went up. I went way too late, and I misjudged the time and how quickly I could do it, and so I'm hiking down all by myself in the dark, and there was a mountain lion stalking me the entire way. Now, mountain lions typically weigh probably around 120 pounds. A huge mountain lion could weigh around 200, but typically they're closer to like 120 something. But I mean, if you've ever seen a mountain lion, like that's a hell of 120 pounds. So yeah, I thought about the same thing. Like, when I'm now, I know I know the woods of California. I know what to do with a mountain lion, and I've watched, I've watched a lot of nature shows, and I know that most animals. Now, sometimes an animal's going to kill you if it wants to kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But for the most part, if you act like another predator and you don't act like prey, then they're going to treat you like another predator and not prey. But
yeah,
basically, if you act like a bitch, they're going to treat you like a bitch. So,
well, I mean,
so yeah,
okay,
I thought about
so
that. Like, hey, if a 120-pound mountain lion, like slightly larger than Jax, attacks me, because my dog Jax weighs about 100 pounds, like, would I be able to do anything? I mean, obviously, if it attacked me from the back, like, it would kill me before I could even react. But if it didn't, like, if I had time to react, would I be able to fight it off? I have no idea.
I don't know. That would be an interesting. But
I mean, I know when dogs attack people, there's pretty much like the only two ways to get a dog that is hell-bent on doing something to stop is to either kill it, get it out of
its butt,
or stick something up its ass. Yeah, I don't know why, but I saw a video where they stuck like a broomstick up a pit bull's ass and got it to stop doing whatever it was doing. But
well, wouldn't you stop what you were doing?
Hell yeah. Well, and I've seen how Jax reacts even when like they take his temperature at the vet. He does not like that. He's like,
no. Exit only, friends.
So as we're talking about the dogs, they decided to break into my office.
Nice. They're like, what?
Hey, you talking about us, buddy? What's up, man? We want to be part of the podcast too. Actually, it's kind of cute. Like Jax always, whenever we're recording, he always wants to lay under the table between me and Steve. Like he wants to be a part of something.
He wants to be a part of the tripod.
But then generally he's also like chewing on a bone or something, and it's like super loud, so we have to like kick him out.
Charlie.
So yeah, so fight. How do we get from body image to fighting off animals?
Well, we were talking about being an endomorph and the fact that we're not runners.
Yeah, I was talking about how even if I'm being attacked by something, I'm gonna probably be more inclined to fight
You're
it.
You're gonna turn around, face it, and fight it, then run from it.
Yeah. Because that's what I do. Like,
well, that's where our strength in the fight or flight thing comes in.
I mean, that's why I suck at golf, because I try to just brute force muscle, and that just doesn't work with golf. Like that's just how I do everything in life. Like if I can't do it well, I'm just gonna be stronger and try harder. But with golf, like honestly, like the best swing you're gonna have is when you're more relaxed and you don't focus on just trying to power the thing through.
Just tap it in. Just give it a little tappy, tap-a-roo.
But yeah, so we're endomorphs, and so we've been big our whole lives, and like that's not always accepted.
Well, I wouldn't say it like maybe accepted. I feel like
that's why I had an up to my accepted, as if I was asking a question, because I don't know that was the right term. But
no, I know that's why I came in and was explaining. I feel like
explain on, my friend.
The perfect picture of humans that we see in movies, and I think that it's changing, but for the longest time it was that, what we decide on, ectomorph or the...
I would say more, ectomorph
the super
would be
skinny...
Like, ectomorph would be like Justin Long, like, that's his name? Yeah, the guy from like Waiting and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
kind of goofy, skinny, scrawny guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be, or even just with women too, like the super slim, 0% body fat, like
Yeah. Kate
perfect
Moss.
person, it's like, well, they perfect in quotations, but, so everybody kind of judges themselves and puts them against that bar. And it's like, well, and I'm painting this all with a very broad brush, but at the same time, for a long time.
But I think the topic of this episode, negative body image and how that affects people, I think that stems directly from society painting with a broad brush.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Because I read somewhere, and I don't even know if this is true, but we'll just pretend it is, that like Brad Pitt, BMI is obviously something I've been using for years, body mass index. It's a fucking math equation. And JB or I could be, we have big frames. We have a lot of muscle, I have broad shoulders. I could literally be 10% body fat, and if you did my BMI, it would still say I'm obese. And
Yeah.
I read somewhere that like even Brad Pitt, if he does his BMI, like he comes out as obese.
Technically obese, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's just the 180 pound, 6 or 5'11", cookie cutter person,
And I think even 100, I think even those stats you just gave are a little bit big for that, because I think it's like more like the 5'8", 150 pound individual.
Jeez, everybody's tiny. Have they been to Walmart lately?
Only if they wanted to make themselves feel better about themselves. So no, you were making a good point. You were adding some value. So carry on, my friend.
Yeah, well, I forgot where I was going.
You're talking about how you're painting with a broad brush, and then I totally interrupted.
Yeah, no, it's all right. We watch movies and we see ads on TV, and I feel like it's more so on the female side of things, because you have makeup commercials and all this stuff with these like airbrushed, crazy skinny. I mean, even in like even regular people at models and stuff like that get airbrushed down to a certain size, and it's like, well, where did we come up with the fact that we need to see this tiny little stick shape? Like who thought that was the perfect person? I don't know that. I maybe it's just like somebody's like, well, I don't like that love handle, cut it out, and then it's like from then on it was super skinny. Who knows?
Well, I think you're right, and I think that was kind of the story of the day when we were younger. But now I think you get a lot of it too from like social media.
Yeah.
Which also, I mean, we're talking about filters, and you can Photoshop your own pictures, and
yeah, people are doing it to themselves. People are, taking selfies from the up angle and getting rid of their double chins.
Well, yeah, anybody who's ever done online dating or Tinder or whatever, Match.com, how like I know I've had this problem. Like, someone can take real pictures of themselves and definitely misrepresent themselves.
Yeah.
And if all you're looking at is these people who are normal people, or they're supermodels, but even like JB said, even the supermodels are fucking airbrushed. So they,
how does anybody ever expect themselves to become that? It's like this, insurmountable task of becoming this perfect person. It's like, no wonder everybody's depressed.
Absolutely. When the funny thing is like, I mean, looks only last for like till she opens or he opens his mouth. Because you could be the most beautiful person in the world, and if you open your mouth and you're just like, oh yeah, not interested in talking to you, sorry.
What did Linker used to say? I'd rather sit there and have everybody think I'm an idiot than open my mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah, and I honestly think, and if you've listened to this for a while, I think that's honestly is it a Churchill quote? It's a famous quote.
It probably is. Yeah.
And if anything that has a little bit of humor and a bunch of intellect in it is probably a Churchill quote. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's true. But at the same time, I feel like and I'm not opposed to working on your physical appearance. I have nothing wrong with that, as long as you're doing it for yourself. Because you know what? Nobody else matters. How does that cliche saying goes? Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Yeah, it's true. But there's just, and especially like for young, like we're old and we're getting old. We just stopped giving a fuck at some point. So like, and I wish I could teach everybody to just not give a fuck what people think, but unfortunately we do. And, we grew up in the age of airbrushed supermodels, and now kids are growing up in the age of airbrushed friends on Facebook. And it's just tough because, everyone's trying to, it kind of goes back to the Sean Aker happiness thing. Yeah, I think it's the exact same with your self-image. If you're always trying to get to a certain place or a certain goal or a certain endpoint before you allow yourself to be happy, or before you allow yourself to be at least allow yourself to accept who you are or how you look. But the problem is we're always trying to improve, and I don't think improvement's a bad thing, but I think that you have to accept who you are and be happy about it. Because if you're always chasing something and never letting yourself get to it, then you're always going to be moving the goalposts. You're never going to get there, and you're never going to be happy.
Yeah, you're looking at yourself through the wrong lens.
So I know that we could sit here and tell you, hey, look in the mirror and be happy with what you see, and that's extremely ignorant of me to say. But I think on some level you do. And you know what? If you don't like what you see, then make a little change, but do it for yourself, and celebrate every little change. Like when I first started losing weight, I think one of the things I noticed first, and other people noticed, it was like, wow, Tim, when I look at a picture of you head on, I can see your ears because your face isn't so fucking fat. And I was like, wow, that's like a big win. I can see my ears. That's awesome. But I mean, I made a little bit of change and I had lost some weight and that started. Now, I was extremely unhappy with who I was, but I shouldn't have had to do anything to be happier with who I was. Now, I certainly don't regret anything I've done. And I lost weight for health reasons, and that was what was important. And on the flip side of the coin, well, I don't know, JB, you weigh in.
No, you had it going on, right? You did yours because you explained it that you could have lost it naturally, but the time that you have on Earth, you wanted it spent more enjoying it than
correct.
And you didn't know for certain that you could have done it. That's the whole thing here, is that if you look at yourself and you don't like it, that's something that you need to deal with. But it's not something that you need to go and obsess over.
Obsess. There you go.
And if it's affecting your health, then yes, that's something that you need to change. But that's really what it comes down to, is like if it's affecting your health, that's what you need to be worried about, because then you won't be able to live past that point if you don't do something about it.
Right.
If it's something that, if you're comparing yourself to somebody else and it's making you unhappy, that's an issue.
Yeah. And if you're doing it so that some boy or some girl will like you, that's also an issue.
Because they're not liking you for who you are.
If they don't like you for who you are, exactly, then they're a piece of shit and they're not worth it. What you should do is lose the weight so that you can attract them and then kick them to the curb because they're a piece of shit and they don't care about things that actually matter.
Which is like, isn't that like the premise to every like 80s Ugly Duckling movie?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they always they start off ugly, and by ugly I mean what is her name? The chick from that one movie with
She's All That.
Yeah, She's All That. Rachel Lee Cook. Yeah, Rachel Lee Cook. Oh, she's so ugly because this super hot girl has like a ponytail and glasses. Oh my God, they put her hair down and they took off her glasses and she's beautiful. But yeah, it's like, I think it's like, I don't know if that's even a good example. I just think it's funny. I think it's funny, the ones where they take some beautiful person, male or female, and they like do a couple of stupid little things to try to make them quote unquote unattractive.
Yeah, it's like, thanks for trying to sell that to me.
It's a joke. Although I think that worked then, I don't think it would work now, because like, you look at, well, I don't know. I'm a nerd, so I like the show Arrow. But you look at the chick who plays Felicity Smoke, and like, she's hot because she's a nerd and she wears glasses. But anyways, well, I mean, she's beautiful regardless. But I think that makes her like more nerdy hot. But
well, I think it comes down to being obsessed with physical beauty over,
over substance.
I hate to say inner beauty, but it's substance. It's attraction. Attraction has many different levels.
Right. But you want someone to appreciate you for who you are. Now, granted, I mean, because we live in a society, and even if we were animals, the same thing applies. You do have to be able to attract somebody, and I get it. You need, even if beauty only lasts 5 minutes, maybe you need that 5 minutes to get the the attention of somebody, but you should never change yourself for somebody else or for anybody else.
Well, you should work on attracting yourself to yourself.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You should never do it for, and this is how, I work in the medical industry. I work with tons of plastic surgeons. So I'm some expert on elective plastic surgery when I don't even work, nobody even uses my products at elective plastic surgery. It's all more like reconstruction and stuff for, people who have had terrible accidents.
When plastic surgery goes wrong.
Right. But so any of my female friends, well, they decide, somehow, like I said earlier, I'm some freaking expert. So they call me like, well, Tim, I'm thinking about getting this. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, well, I'm a firm believer of any change you want to make. If you want to make it for yourself, then I support it completely. But if you don't, if you're trying to do it for somebody else, then I don't support that, because you need to, if you want to be in any meaningful relationship, be it a friendship, a family relationship, or a romantic relationship, you're never going to be able to fully love someone else if you don't love yourself. And that sounds cliche and stupid, and I get it, but there's a lot of truth to it.
Yeah. No, it really does. It's like,
yeah, and I think it's two parts, and it's the same as, we've talked about being happy and allowing, and that Matthew McConaughey, we'll probably do an episode. Matthew McConaughey has an amazing speech on YouTube about happiness and how we don't ever let ourselves be happy because we're always chasing some goal, and we always tell ourselves that we'll be happy when we do this or we get that or this happens. But the problem is you spend so much time getting there, and then usually when we get there or when we get close, we move that goalpost even further to some other goal. So we never allow ourselves to be happy. Or he puts it, happiness and joy are different things. And we need to allow ourselves to feel joy when maybe we're looking for happiness. It doesn't matter. But I think that physical image is the same. Now, I fully support, and I think that we should strive to be better versions of ourselves, both mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. But I think that you have to celebrate your little wins along the way and allow yourself to become more comfortable with yourself, more accepting of yourself at every turn and at every little thing. And that's why, I lost 180 pounds, but I didn't wait till I lost 180 pounds to feel good about myself. I lost 30, I felt good. I lost 60, I felt good. And I'm certainly no poster child for what's right and what's wrong. I mean, I've had self-image issues my entire life. I'm still losing weight and doing stuff, but I mean, I'm never going to look in the mirror and be like, that's a hot, sexy man. Yeah. But
why not?
Okay. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I see life as a journey, and I'm kind of in a place where I always want to get better, but I can look at myself in the mirror now and be like, yeah, I did this. I look pretty good. I'm happy with it. And in addition to being happy and allowing myself to feel that, I'd kind of like to do this or that, and make myself look a little bit better and be a little healthier. And yeah.
I think what helps, what people can kind of take from this and what can help them have kind of a better self-image is a lot of people don't look at themselves and are happy about what they do, about their actions. I'm not talking to the people who don't already feel that way. I'm talking about people who have the bad self-image, the negative self-image. Usually you're fixated on the physical aspects of it. If you focus more on doing something nice for somebody or the actions that you've taken that you're proud of, your self-image will improve because it's not one-dimensional. You're not just focused on the physical aspect of it. You're focused on the spiritual or, your altruistic, whatever that substance part of your image, which is part of your image. You may not be able to see it, but it's how you see yourself. If you focus more on that, it's going to be easier to improve your overall self-image.
Yeah, or just smiling.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sometimes it's that easy because there could be a beautiful person with this just unhappy snarl on their face, and it's not cute. But, a decent-looking person with just a $1 million smile is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I think confidence goes a long way. And I mean, I don't have any off the top of my head, but there is countless examples of men and women who are not really that attractive algorithmically on paper, whatever you want to say.
rock stars are a good example of this.
They just exude this energy and this confidence, and yeah, rock stars, exactly. Like, dude, I mean, Tommy Lee, like, he's not an attractive man. Like, I mean, anyone from pretty much pick a lot of rock stars. They're not really. I mean, look at Steven Tyler, look at Mick Jagger. But these guys, I mean, granted, they're worth millions and they're fucking rock stars, but it's that edge that they have, you know, or that girl who is just, you're like, I mean, I've probably said this before, like, damn, she's sexy. I can't even figure out exactly why, but it's just something about you, because they're biologically, there's just and then you know, even more so because of our brains and stuff, but there's so much more to attraction than just the cookie cutter physical aspects of somebody.
Absolutely.
And there is definitely an aura and an attitude and etc. So work on all that. Be happy with who you are. But if the negativity of your self-image is, like, you know, for JB and I was like overweight, and like I needed to lose weight, not because I felt like I needed to be sexier or anything. It was more like for my health. Like, I was kind of happy. I mean, I was kind of miserable, but I was kind of happy with who I was. Like, I wasn't horribly depressed. I was never like, I never hated, I mean, I think I hated myself on some level, but not in like the traditional sense. But I think there's something good and healthy about being happy with who you are. And I think we've talked about that.
Well, the moral of the story is, I think, taking some bullet points. It's like, you know, if you have a negative self-image and it's because, you know, you're in a position where it's affecting your health, then do something about it, you know, drastically. If
do it for you.
Well, yeah, you know,
well, or if you're like JB and you've made little human versions of you, then, I mean, I think doing it for your family is perfectly acceptable. I mean, it goes back to the whole airplane going down in a crash analogy where, you know, it says, you know, take care. Put your oxygen mask on first before you help other people, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be around to help other people. And if you're dead, you're useless. Or if you're not dead, but you're just never taking care of yourself and you're operating at 60% of your capacity, then you're trying to help other people, but you're never taking care of yourself, and you're only hurting everybody because you're not equipped to take care of other people, because you are such a downtrodden, sad, less effective version of yourself. I mean, it sounds selfish, but honestly, you do to some level have to take care of yourself, you know, like,
yeah,
because JB, like, you can be a better dad in so many different ways if you are happy and healthy than if not.
Well, you said it. You said it's all about setting examples in that regard too. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think.
So yeah, I think it's about just be happy with who you are. You know, in the business world, there's all these things like strengths finders and Gallup stuff and all this other random shit. But essentially, it boils down to, you know, one of the schools of thought that I think is extremely efficient is focus on your strengths. So focus on your strengths. You know, if you're not super happy with how you look, then, and you want to change it for yourself, then go for it. I support that. But also, like, focus on your strengths. Like, are you funny? Are you smart? Like, don't sacrifice any part of you to make another part better, because it's not a zero-sum game. You can keep your good parts and make your other parts better and make your good parts better. I think it's always about improving. I think that's the whole point of this fucking podcast. We are always trying to improve ourselves, improve this podcast. I mean, we may be failing miserably at that. I don't know, but
at least we're doing it.
Embrace your strengths, because you're awesome. You're good. You're hot. Maybe you need to do some soul searching to figure out how, but focus on those. You know, if you're funny or you're smart or you're whatever, you have $1 million smile. Use that. Focus on that. And then if you feel like you need to make other parts better, then do that. But do it for you. Because you know what? No one else matters. And anybody who judges you for shallow things, fuck them.
Agreed.
Because cliche-ishly, those who matter don't
Did you say
mind.
Cliche-ishly?
I did. I think I might have made that word up.
That's that's the third word we've come up. Not come up with.
You can find all these words in the Frictionary. It's true.
That
could be our third book, the Frictionary, the Beckstead Frictionary.
That Yeah, that sounds odd.
I don't know. Everything we've
Frictionary
said.
sounds
Everything
like
we've
it
said.
sounds like a book full of weird sexual positions.
Right. Speaking of sexual positions, shout out to you, Brent, at Sofa King Podcast. They like to come up with random words, and then Brent comes up with sexual positions that would be called that word or phrase. Anyways, go listen to Sofa King Podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better than ours. Anyways, love you guys. But yeah, so yeah, make some changes. Make yourself better, but do it for you. And don't wait until you're done with those changes to love yourself and accept yourself, because you're good. You're awesome. You can do it. And we love you just the way you are. But we also support you getting better if that's what you want to do.
Well said.
Thanks, buddy.
Signing
JB.
off.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, my friend.
Likewise.
All of y'all out there, to you from us here at Project Reclamation, have a good one. And until we speak again,
Be good.
all right. Bye, guys.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Yeah, I know, when I compliment her, she won't believe me. And it's so sad to think that she don't see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. Girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing.